Today I'm going to teach you how to make a mask using several different clay techniques. First thing you need to do is create a slab by pressing the clay with the palm of your hand, flipping it over, pressing on the back. You want to make it about pencil thickness and check your size as you're pressing out your slab. Then you're going to draw the outside using a pointy tool lightly into the clay to create the shape of the outer edge. Once you have the shape you want, you're just going to press all the way through the clay and cut it out. Next, you're going to just sketch out the details lightly with a pointy tool so that you know where all your parts will go. Next, you're going to start creating the face parts, or the parts that you want to stick out on the mask. So I just pressed a slab so that I could cut out the shape for the nose. To attach two pieces of clay together, you have to use the 4 S's. So first you need to score the clay wherever it's going to touch. Then you need to slip or wet the clay. Then you're going to stick it down and really pressing into the clay to make sure that it's stuck really well. Then you're going to smooth it out. So the 4 S's are score, slip, stick, and smooth. Coiling is another great technique to use when you're adding on your face parts. Coils are basically just clay snakes, and they're good for things like eyebrows and lips. So I'm going to create a coil and cut it to the right length, and then I'm going to use the scoring, slipping, sticking, and smoothing to attach the eyebrows. Again, using the 4 S's to make that glue between the two pieces of clay. So because I'm using the scoring, slipping, sticking, and smoothing method, I'm attaching two pieces of clay together. This is called an additive method. When you add two pieces of clay together or add on to create some kind of sculpture. Next, I'm going to actually use the subtractive method. So I'm going to carve out the eyes a little bit and take away some of the clay because I want the eyes to be a little pushed back. In order to do that, I just use the end of my tool that has a good shape for carving out, and I'm just carving away a little bit at a time so I don't go too far. Another option might be to cut all the way through the clay. If you want to make holes for the eyes or the mouth, you could also do that. Again, this is called a subtractive method. I'm going to also make coils to create my mouth and my lips so that they stick out similar to the way that I did the eyebrows. Who can remind me and tell me what are the 4 S's that I will use to stick down the lips? So I also use the 4 S's to stick on some of the inner part of the eye, and then I'm just using a pencil tool to create details and designs on my mask. Pressing textures into the clay using the tools is one of the quickest and easiest ways to create interesting designs and textures. Finally, I'm just going to use my fingers and smooth out the edges, making sure that there's no crumbly pieces that could become hard or sharp after the clay is fired. Once your mask is finished, you just need to scratch your name and class code on the back and turn it in. For cleanup, you need to put your clay art on the drying board, place all clay tools on the tray, stack clay mats in the middle of the table, roll extra clay into a ball, and put your heads down ready to wash hands.